You're watching Times XP. I am Driti Atri, and here are the biggest stories that are making headlines across the globe today. So, let's start with it. Beirut shaken after Israeli strike. Tonight, Beirut is shaken after a precision Israeli strike. In the meantime, Israel says that it targeted Hezbollah commander-chief. His name is Haitham Tabatabai. The United States, in the meantime, says that it learned of the attack only after it happened. Chaos in Beirut's stronghold, a massive blast ripped through the Hezbollah controlled zone. In the meantime, sirens and smoke. It filled the streets within seconds. Here, local fears that this could further escalate the war. Israel confirms responsibility here. Israel openly admits that it ordered the Beirut strike. Officials say that Hezbollah will not be allowed to rebuild the weapons again. Now they insist the threat will be removed with or without any kind of ceasefire. Washington caught off guard. US officials say that they were not even informed beforehand. The White House, in the meantime, is urgently seeking clarity from Israel right now. Trump aides, they describe the entire situation as completely unexpected. Border tensions soar. Supporters of Hezbollah, they are enraged after the strike. The group says that Israel has crossed a critical red line here. But you know what? Israeli forces, they are now on maximum alert across the north. Ceasefire violations disputed. Israel accuses Hezbollah of repeatedly breaking the truce. The IDF calls the Beirut strike a necessary action for protection, and in the meantime, Lebanon warns that this could widen the conflict dramatically. Hezbollah hints at casualties here. The group admits that a senior figure was hit in the strike, but it refuses to confirm whether Tabatabai was killed or not. But crowds in Beirut, they fear the loss of their top commander. IDF discovers Hamas Pentagon. That's right. Israeli forces say that they uncovered a major headquarters beneath Gaza. Be it blueprints, be it data centers, be it tactical planning, everything was found there. Officials call it a parallel Pentagon underground. We are training room uncovered. Israel claims that Hamas built virtual simulators of IDF bases. That's right. Elite Nukba fighter reportedly trained inside them for months. In fact, analysts say that this explains the precision seen on October 7th attack. Social media exploited by Hamas, a 2,500-member Hamas unit. It gathered all the intelligence reports from soldiers' selfie, posts, caption, photos that became surveillance tool. Here experts call it a shocking case of open source spying. Tank weaknesses exposed. Documents show Hamas mapped a vulnerability in Merkava tank. This whole flaw, it helped Hamas disable Israeli armor on October 7th when the war began. In fact, Israel calls the discovery deeply troubling. Iran makes explosive claims. Tehran accuses the United States and Israel of plotting to kill their supreme leader, Mr. Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. It labels anybody aiding the plan an infiltrating enemy agent. No evidence was provided, but the warning, it was fierce. Trump pulled into Iran controversy. Old reports claim that Trump once blogged a hit on their supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. He says that he saved Iran's leader from assassination attempt. The resurfaced claim is fueling a political storm now. Iran warns of possible war here. Iran's security chief says that foreign powers are aiming to destabilize the entire Iran. He warns a regional confrontation, which is now absolutely possible. The comments raise fear of a dangerous escalation. Gaza sends harsh message to the United States. Hamas issued a direct warning, and that too may be a message in their language to Donald Trump. Leaders said Gaza will not accept humiliation here. It comes amid the concern over Washington's new Gaza plan. Hamas officials rushed to Cairo. The top Hamas members evacuated Gaza for urgent talks. In the meantime, that particular meeting, it includes the US, Qatar and Egypt. Discussions might focus on Gaza's political future. New United States plan for Gaza emerges. Well, Washington proposes a multi-stage governance overhaul. Security zones and power sharing are the key topics on the table right now, and Hamas fears that being pushed out of political control is the biggest weapon that they might use. Ceasefire on the brink. Israel says that rockets were launched from Gaza and that too overnight. In the meantime, Hamas accuses Israel of crossing buffer line. Mediators say that the truce, it can collapse any moment from now. Venezuela's airspace declared hazardous. The US FAA, it issued a severe safety alert. Airlines around the globe suspend routes immediately, and in the meantime, Venezuela all of a sudden finds itself isolated from major carriers. United States military backup near Venezuela. Well, American jets and warships, they are gathering in the Caribbean right now. Here, US says that it's for the regional security, but Caracas calls it a dangerous pre-invasion signal. Venezuelan airports fall silent. Flights at Caracas, they are nearly shut down. In fact, departure boards filled with cancellation through the entire day. In fact, thousands of travelers, they are left stranded and confused what to do next. Maduro releases new TV serial, a drama based on their president, Maduro's life premieres. That's right, he says that it reveals the real story of the revolution here. In the meantime, crowds, they cheer as politics and entertainment blend together. First Lady sparks political buzz here. Celia Flores hints at a major developments abroad. Her cryptic comment raised a lot of alarms among the analysts. The message comes as the US pressure intensifies on Venezuela. Reports of the United States psychological operation plan. Leak suggests Washington may launch psychological operations here. Possible tactics include the left-led drops and cyber disruptions maybe. Here Caracas fears a new phase of information warfare. United States delegation arrives in Taiwan. Well, American lawmakers land quietly for a high-level talk. They discuss military coordination with Taiwan's president, and in the meantime, China immediately condemns the visit as provocative. China issues fresh warning here. Beijing tells Washington to stop going down the wrong path. That's right. Officials say that the US is destabilizing the entire region. Well, China vows to defend its sovereignty at any cost now. PLA drills tighten around Taiwan. Chinese warships and aircraft surge around the island. In fact, missiles were fired into Taiwan's water earlier, but experts warn that it resembles a rehearsal of a blockade. US-China relationship hit a new low. China freezes diplomatic channel with the United States, and in the meantime, military hotlines and climate talks, they are suspended. Here, analysts say that the miscalculation risk, they are dangerously high. Israel links strike to United States bounty. That's right. Netanyahu highlights America's $5 million reward on Tabatabai. In the meantime, critics say that the timing, it appears politically strategic here. The entire Lebanon fears a new cycle of retaliation. Region enters danger zone. Iran vows revenge for recent developments. Hezbollah promises a response to Israeli strike. The Middle East braces for an unpredictable period right now. And with that, that's our 30 news bulletins from around the globe. From Gaza to Israel, from Iran to the United States. The world is changing and so is geopolitics, and TimesXP is here to give you all the updates that matters the most. I'm Driti Atri. See you next time.